It's good to know that you are there. This is the Anglican Cable Network Nigeria, ACNN Television. You are on to the news on the hour. I am Folusho Taiwo. You're welcome. The United Christian Leaders Eagle Eyes Forum, which had presented a copy of the Holy Bible to Buhari ahead of the 2015 presidential election, has declared a 30-day prayer and fasting to stop President Muhammadu Buhari from winning the 2019 election. It will be recalled that Buhari had last week, while announcing his intention to vie for the 2019 presidential election, told the National Executive Council of the All Progressive Congress APC that he was responding to the clamor by Nigerians for him to seek a second term in office. The group of prayer warriors who expressed readiness to send Buhari into what they described as forceful retirement called on Nigerians, irrespective of religious, ethnic, and political inclinations, to be awake and save their dear nation, as it is the citizenry that has the power, right, and choice to make the country great again. Addressing a news conference in Abuja, chairman of the body, Pastor Amici Habu, said there was every indication that if President Buhari is re-elected in 2019, the country will continue to slide backward, asking Nigerians to expect more failures from the president. He stated that what the country needs to do to end the high level of social decadence and lack of development in the country is to elect a leader with a vision and the mindset to make the nation great. The Christian Council of Nigeria, CCN, has accused the federal government of trivializing and playing down the violent activities of killer headsmen in the country. It also claimed that forces of Islamization in Nigeria were still moving sharply, noting that some people were pushing the agenda of Islamization and trying to force everybody to convert to Islam. National President of CCN, an affiliate of Christian Association of Nigeria, ACNN, Reverend Dr. Benebo Fubara Manuel, and his Anambra State Branch Chairman and Bishop of the Niger, the Right Reverend Owen Nwokolo, disclosed this during the CCN Standing Committee meeting held at the Archbishop C.J. Patterson International Auditorium or Saints Cathedral, Onitsha, in Anambra State. CCN said it was concerned by the marketplaces, the schools where the children are trained, and even their homes are no longer safe. The body charges the federal government to readdress its military strategy in such a way that people will not walk into schools and take guards and go scot-free, with hope that they will negotiate without religious bias or show of any religious divide, or leave a Christian behind and bring others back. Nobel laureate Professor Wole has given President Muhammadu Buhari's led administration till the end of July to stop killer herdsmen and return displaced persons to their homes. Soyinka warned that the federal government will be described as a total failure if it failed to stop the killings by the end of July. He made the statement during the inauguration of the 2018 Obafemi Awolowo University Ile-Ife Festival of Foods and Identity at the Obafemi Awolowo University Ile-Ife, Osun State. Soyinka warned that Nigeria's food security could be jeopardized by the rampant killings, pointing out that farmers were the most affected victims of the herdsmen and Boko Haram attacks. He further stated that Nigerians will be given fulfillment as a people of culture, peace and harmony, if the instruments of war and destruction are transformed into instruments of production and creativity. The Minister of Defense, Mansour Dan Ali, has said the counter-insurgency operations against Boko Haram have rendered the terrorist group incapable of launching organized attacks. The minister, who was represented by the Chief of Defense Staff, General Gabriel Olonishaki, at the closing ceremony of the African Land Forces Summit in Abuja, called on African countries to learn from the strategies of Nigeria to curb the menace of terrorism. He, however, noted that the successes in the fight against Boko Haram could not have been achieved without the effective collaboration between the Lake Chad Basin countries. The American ambassador to Nigeria, Mr. Stuart Simington, who shared some of his experiences with the participants from 40 countries, added that the countries must always consider security, stability and prosperity if they are to succeed. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tuko Yusuf Buratai, revealed that Botswana would host the 7th African Land Forces Summit. The Yoruba Youth Sociocultural Association has taken a swipe at President Muhammadu Buhari following his remark in London that Nigerian youths are lazy. The youth, who said, contrary to what Buhari said, Nigerian youths are hardworking and industrious, however, declared that the president is totally out of point for making such remark. To be recalled that Buhari, in his remarks while speaking in London, was quoted as saying that many Nigerian youths are lazy.
More than 60% of the population is below the age of 30. A lot of them haven't been to school, and they are claiming, that Nigeria has been an oil-producing country, therefore they should sit and do nothing and get housing, healthcare, education free.
But National Secretary of the group, Comrade Olawale Ajao, in a statement made available to newsmen in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, while reacting to Buhari's outburst, lamented that it is unfortunate that President Buhari is fond of giving a negative remark about Nigeria whenever he talks abroad. Ajao said there are countless number of graduates trading in the market, driving commercial vehicles in towns, and doing all sorts of menial jobs for survival. He further stated that the body wants Mr. President to tell Nigerians how many employment opportunities his government has provided and how many Nigerians have turned down the job offers. Femi Adesina, special advisor to President on Media and Publicity, says mischief makers are trying to diminish the profile of President Muhammadu Buhari. Adesina said this in his response to the anger that trailed the comment of Buhari at the Commonwealth Business Forum in London on Wednesday. The president had said a lot of Nigerian youths were unwilling to do anything and wanted housing and education for free. Nigerians, particularly young persons, had hit back at the president, accusing him of marketing the country in the international community. But reacting in a statement, Adesina said the president's comment was twisted. He said, being a father to the nation, Buhari could not have made offensive comments against the youth. The Benue Proactive Initiative, a civil society group, has condemned in strong terms what it tagged as the barbaric, wicked, and malicious killing of a personnel of the Nigerian Army in Naka, Gua West local government area of the state on Wednesday. It was reported that no fewer than 20 houses were razed down after armed men in military uniform attacked Naka community. The state government, through the special advisor to governor and local government and chieftaincy affairs, Titus Zam, said the attack followed the act of lawlessness perpetrated by some restive youths in Gua West local government area of Benue State. He says some youths in Naka attacked troops who were on peacekeeping mission in the area, thereby triggering reprisals from the army. Reacting to the incident in a statement issued on Thursday night, Comrade Chaka Jam, convener BPI, said the unfortunate incident was highly regrettable and condemnable. Jam noted that the soldiers deployed to Benue State on peacekeeping have been making frantic efforts to curtail the in-season crisis between herders and farmers in the country. Several persons have been reportedly killed, others declared missing, while over 30 houses were razed after suspected herdsmen attacked Hanyim Ward in Logo local government area of Benue State. These men gathered that some heavily armed men invaded the community late last night and opened fire on the villagers. The development forced many residents who were already fast asleep to abandon their homes for fear of being killed by the attackers. It was reported that security operatives on ground, especially mobile police force, swung into action and chased away the intruders after they had killed many residents. The House of Representatives has threatened to invoke Section 89 of the 1999 Constitution to arrest some senior officials of President Muhammadu Buhari's government. The officials include Senior Advisor to the President on Prosecution, Mr. Okoye Obono Obla, who doubles as the Chairman of Special Presidential Investigation Panel, SPIP, on Public Assets Recovery, Office of the Vice President, Minister of Justice, and Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, Minister of Finance, Kemi Adeosun, and the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, SGF Boss Mustafa. Others are the Head of Service of the Federation, Winifred Oyoita, Inspector General of Police, IGP Ibrahim Idris, Accountant General of the Federation, Auditor General of the Federation, and all relevant stakeholders in the legal and financial administrations of the country. Reasons for the proposed arrest were their failure to honor the invitation of the House Ad Hoc Committee investigating the legality and modus operandi of the Special Presidential Panel to a public hearing which commenced at the National Assembly complex in Abuja. It was observed that while the chairman of the panel appeared by proxy in the person of Head Legal Unit Mr. Sexus Okpong, most of the agencies sent either director or deputy director as representatives. The development angered chairman of the Ad Hoc Committee, Aliyu Pategi, and his members who lambasted the officials for treating their invitations with levity and, by extension, disregarding the people of Nigeria who they represent. We shall now take a short commercial break. We shall be back. Please stay with us.
Living to please God is simply living according to the Word of God.
Pleasing God entails you staying with your wife in understanding, according to the scripture, exactly. Not in beating her.
You are welcome back. For more on our top stories, please visit our website at acnntv.com or youtube.com/acnntv. To be up to date with our news and other programs, download the ACNN app for Android from Google Play Store. And now to some foreign news. A U.S. court has sentenced former Liberian warlord known as Jungle Jabba to 30 years in prison for gaining U.S. asylum by lying about his role in the civil war in his homeland and atrocities he committed. Mohammed Jabate, 51, who has lived in East London since the late 1990s, was found guilty in October on 2 counts of fraud in immigration documents and 2 counts of perjury, according to prosecutors. During the height of Liberia's first civil war from 1992 to 1995, Jabata was serving as commander of a warring group, either personally committed or other acts such as rapes, ritual cannibalism, mutilation, murder, and the use of child soldiers. According to testimony, in one instance, Jabate ordered that the heart of a captive be cooked and fed to his fighters. In another, fighters under his command murdered a villager, removed his heart, and ordered the town chief's wife to cook it. Jabate later had the town chief himself murdered and ordered his widow to cook her husband's heart. During Jabate's trial, Pagano said Jabate had been framed by accusers who were desperate to blame anyone they could for the atrocities committed during the Civil War. The case was investigated by Special Agents of Homeland Security Investigations, an arm of the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. Young people from across Africa have been urged to take up leadership roles in their churches and communities and be active voices in the continent's development. The call came at the Continental Youth Congress organized by the Council of Anglican Provinces of Africa, CAPA. The event, which was attended by about 300 young people, mostly from across Africa, held at the Multimedia University of Kenya in Nairobi. The CAPA chairperson, Archbishop Albert Chama of the province of Central Africa, opened the program, which through lectures, workshops, and devotionals focused on the ability of African young adults' faith to influence the continent's future. Another speaker, Professor Plo Lunmamba, director of the Kenya School of Laws, encouraged the attendees to care for nature and love each other. Referring to the attendees as the Church of Tomorrow, he urged them to take part in making the United Nations 2063 vision for the development of Africa a reality. One outstanding outcome of the event was the chance for youth from across Africa to create connections and collaborate on programs that continue to develop communities. The Archbishop of Canterbury, the Most Reverend Justin Welby, has led parliamentarians and 40 senior religious leaders from 11 Commonwealth countries for 2 days of discussions on freedom of religion or belief. The meeting held at the Lambeth Palace, which is the London official residence of the Archbishop of Canterbury, was chaired by the Bishop of Coventry, Right Reverend Christopher Coxworth. It was part of the parallel program of events running alongside the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting, one of the world's largest international summits, bringing together the leaders of 53 independent nations. Bishop Wole convened this gathering in partnership with the Commonwealth Initiative on Freedom of Religion, or Belief Project Director, Baroness Berridge. The highlight of the gathering was discussion of the importance of the international legal framework for freedom of religion or belief and the need for faith communities and governments to engage with it more consistently. And so that's it. On this edition of the News on the Hour, we want to thank you and thank you profusely for watching. I am Folusho Taiwo. Please mend it. Don't end it in a hurry. God bless you.